TeachMeGrappling, what's up guys? Coach Brian here. Coach Anton, the Russian Panda, he's back. We're about to run some wrestling practice. Want to give you guys some content. Everybody knows what the Dagestani Handcuff is. Guys, it's this unstoppable. It was just invented a few years ago by Khabib Nurmagomedov.
No one's ever seen it.
Nobody had seen it prior to. It's a joke, guys. All respect to Khabib. He's incredible. The wrist, the near wrist in wrestling, you know, when this guy's on my wrist, he like rolls me over it and you end up here. This is tough. You know why? Because a lot of guys, they only know when they're under here, they only know how to like roll their wrist out. And if Anton puts weight on me, like I can't roll the wrist out. It's really tough. So watch what I do right here. I just bring my knees into this position. I get my knees real tight so I'm in a ball. So it's really hard for him to pull it out. If he wanted to pull my wrist out behind my back, like, you know, yeah, like this. Can you guys see how he's doing that in wrestling? If I'm like this, he's gonna break me. See that? He's gonna break me. If I come into this position and I push my toes and I put the weight on his wrist, I'm basically, here, I'm taking my rib cage and I'm smashing his wrist against my wrist.
He's sitting on it.
Yeah, I'm basically laying all my body weight. So it's hard for him to pull it out. And then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start backing up and break their grab. You guys see that? Look at that. So in a fight, like go back to MMA style, he's throwing punches at me. Maybe you cover my body, you know? He's kind of like this and you're here. You can't just keep taking punishment. So once I'm here, I'm just pushing the mat and breaking that wrist grab. I can go right into a sit out, elbows in, sealing off, grabbing onto some fingers, and then just simply getting away. Okay, keep it real simple. You might have somebody too massively strong for you. If you're new and it may not work, I wouldn't recommend you grab the biggest guy in the room and you say, hold my wrist as hard as you can, you know, and then see if it works. Probably start out with somebody close to your size and just simply, if you leave your wrist there, he rolls you over it. I'm just kind of backing up. My butt's off the mat. So as he's driving pressure into me, I'm fighting against it and stretching my elbow right there. And then when I'm here, guys, I still have a position where I can roll back out that way. I can go to the sit out. So that was my first idea. It's so simple to teach you. Instead of just trying to get your wrist free, or as people say, try to peel it. You know, Anton, do you have any ideas on this subject?
I love wrist rides. It's like the best thing. I think the only thing I feel when you're doing that, just a note I have, maybe if you guys want to kind of practice both sides of it when I'm on top. And so a couple of things. First of all, if you don't put pressure, like Brian said, he's gonna just roll his wrist out, right? One of the other things you guys can think about as he's rolling his wrist out is actually stepping out in front of him. Yeah. And you can trap it. So again, a little more advanced, but if you guys want to play around in this position, that's something we can do. Rather than sometimes the guy's really strong and I actually can't get him down. Like he's in his base and I can't break him down. And as he starts to wrist roll, I'll step out in front of him. Right, and then catch it here, right, or just catch it back here and go to like a ankle or something, right? Because you're not always going to be able to break somebody down. Well, first thought. Second thought, and this is again something where if you guys just grab this position, it's something for both people to work on. Let's say I do break him down, right, and he begins to do that, what we were just talking about, the defense, right? A couple of things that we want to think about. This is now useless, right? I don't have any control here. So now I need to think about, as Brian is doing this, as he's disengaging from me, I need to find something else. Get under somehow. Because if I let him seal this off, now I'm screwed. Because I don't have position here, I don't have position here. Does that make sense? And now he's going to keep this elbow sealed, push, and then re-seal here. All right, now he's out every single time. So just something to think about. Again, I'm here. He starts pushing back. You're like, oh, I'm losing this position. Start to dig under.
Yeah, if you get that,
dig under.
I got to make sure that I think ahead,
right?
And I don't let that in, because now it does me no good, guys, if he's got a good claw grip right there, even if I was to break this, I'm still being controlled, right? So I'm in a dangerous position. So remember to seal. That reminds us to always seal off, you know, when we're doing stuff. And there's nothing wrong with you guys peeling hands and rolling. Like that's definitely a part of wrestling in general, is peeling hands and rolling. And it also depends on your application, right? If you're doing this for sport wrestling, folk style, freestyle, MMA, Jiu-jitsu, it might change a little bit of the possibilities and the options. And I know some people will say like, you know, the guy, I guess I could think of another bad spot. Like what if you grabbed my wrist, but then you jumped to this side on your left hip? Yeah, like see guys, if he goes here, now I feel like kind of broken right here. But again, it doesn't escape by, you know, somebody will hold a hand and he might duck it with his head, and then boom, he'll keep punching me, or knee, you know, in a fight, you can knee my face. So guys, remember, you're not gonna fight like this, because he's gonna run you right over it, and you feel stuck. So again, look at what I do, even in this position, even though I might eat some shots, you know, I might try to hold the hand, I'm lifting my body weight, crushing, and then now there's a little threat of him also getting rolled.
Yeah.
So
I feel if there's too much pressure, I'm gonna sit up.
He's gonna want to let out
and try to get out.
And then maybe I can start wrestling, scrabbling from there. But there's definitely multiple positions of this.
You can do a huge serious. I mean, the inside wrist ride is like the most basic, most fundamental tenet of like top wrestling and folk style. That's why it's so funny to us.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh my God, it's this crazy thing we've never seen it, and then this one guy starts doing it and beating the shit out of it.
And you know, let me make mention, there was an American wrestler named Ryan Schultz who caught Chris Hordesky back in IFL. I want to say that was like 2008, something like that. So like 2008, he grabbed that near wrist on Chris Hordesky and just pummeled him with punches and elbows, and it was a brutal TKO. So if you guys haven't seen that fight, look that one up. So we actually used to call the position, we would call it the Hordesky. We named it after the guy, not the guy who did it, Ryan Schultz. We named it after the guy that got pummeled with it, because it was our memory. Anyway, so either way, it is a devastating position. You do need to know how to get out of it. Here's some great ideas. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much, Anton. You're the man. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and we'll see you guys next time with more great stuff. Oh.